Hi everyone, my name's Anne-Marie. Welcome to Card Making Project 561. Today we're going to make a gorgeous Christmas card using our Anna Griffin supplies, and we're going to be using the Christmas Snow Globe die set. Now we're not actually going to make a snow globe, we're going to use it in a different way, but I wanted to show you how versatile this set was and how, if you think outside the box a little bit, how you can use it to create even more gorgeous creations. Everything I do use I should put in a detailed list on my blog, so please be sure to check it out. There's also lots of photos of the projects on there as well, and I just think it's worth spending 5 minutes or so on there and having a look around. You can always contact me on Facebook, you can always find me on Twitter, on Instagram, all the links are at the end of the video. Also at the end of my video, if you haven't already subscribed to YouTube, my head will pop up in one of the corners and you can click on it and click subscribe to YouTube, and then you will be notified as to when new projects are available, and you will be able to follow me and be the first to hear of what's new. So without further ado, please sit back and relax and let's have a look at today's gorgeous Christmas card. For today's project we're going to be using, now I've got to be honest, this is a set of stamps from Anna Griffin and I don't know the name of this, but we're going to be using this particular stamp here, and it says Christmas Wishes. It's for the inside of our card. If you don't have it, then it doesn't matter, you would be able to substitute it and use a different stamp, whatever you have in your stash. We're going to be using the Christmas arrangement embossing folders, and we're going to be using the one called Snowfall. Now again, if you don't have this in your stash, you just want something that's snowflakey, something that is textured, that will give some of your cardstock just a texture or an image of something Christmassy. It's just for behind a die cut. We're going to be using our all four corners cut and emboss dies, and we're going to be using this particular one at the bottom, the one with the rounded edge. We're going to use them in a slightly different way, and I think it'll work perfectly. Even though they're not Christmassy, I think it will just look stunning. And lastly, we're going to be using our Christmas Snow Globe dies. We're going to be using the one with the deer, and we're going to use it not as a snow globe, so something a little bit different. Now I'm going to start off with my base card, and my base card is a 6x6 inch card, and it's ivory. I've already stamped the back, it says handmade by, and I've added my name. I add my project number, some people add the date. It's completely up to you what you add. It's just for reference and for details really when you give the recipient the card. So I'm going to use my bone folder to make sure I've got a nice sharp crease at the top of the card. Now we're going to use it tent fashion, so that means we're going to use it crease up. So when our card is finished, it will stand that way on, just for something a little bit different. We're going to start off with our inside first. Now, I'm going to use Christmas cardstock from Anna Griffin. You could use any cardstock that you have. I know we've had some of Anna's Christmas cardstock this year. My friends across the pond, you've had cardstock we haven't had. Whatever you have, you could use that. So I'm going to start with a layer of Christmas cardstock that I've cut to about 1/4 inch short of 6x6 inches. That will just give a nice edge around the outside of the card. I've got flat tape on the back of it, and I am simply going to just add that in the centre of the card. Now something I say every project, the inside is going to match perfectly to the outside, and they do, but today's really is, and I just think it is just going to be perfect. So that's our base layer. Our next layer is the Anna Griffin red satin foil. Look at that. And I've cut a circle. You're going to want some nesting dies for this, some circle dies. They don't have to be nesting dies, but some large circle dies. You've probably already got all those in your stash. And they're not Anna's. You know, you can get them from many different companies. But you want some circle dies. So I've cut a circle of cardstock, the red, so it just fits the inside of the card. I've got flat tape on the back of it. I've probably overdone it with the flat tape. Sometimes I put too little on, sometimes I put too much on. So circles are always different to judge. So now we can add the circle just through the centre like that and press it down. Next, I've die cut another circle that is slightly smaller than the red circle. It's in patterned Christmas cardstock. I've got flat tape on the back so I can peel my tape away. There's also an aperture in the centre of this circle. Now, for anybody who's seen me do an inlaid aperture before, you'll know exactly what I'm going to do. So I've die cut the circle just slightly smaller than the previous one. That's why I mentioned about the nesting dies. And then I've cut a circle in the centre. So I'm going to place this circle on top of the previous one. There we go. And press that down. Now the circle in the centre, I've taken that size die and I've cut a circle of ivory cardstock to exactly the same size. I've got flat tape on the back of it and I'm going to simply add this circle inside the previous one. So it gives you an inlay like so. There we go. Press that down. And then I've used the stamp from the stamp set with no name that I don't have the name of. I should have looked it up. So it is obviously one of Anna's. I know it's one of Anna's. I just didn't write the name on the side of it. I've had it a long time and I just thought it's going to work so well. So I've stamped it using red ink and then I've just tapped a green ink pad around the edge. I don't know if you can see that. I've got flat tape on the back and I'm just going to add this just to our insert, and I'm going to add it at the bottom like that. There we go, just in the centre, and then that gives us a nice amount of room to write our Christmas message in to and from, and believe me, that will match perfectly to the outside. So now we can turn our attention to the outside. I'm going to use my bone folder to make sure I've got that nice sharp crease. And the first layer for the outside is the same Christmas cardstock I use as the base layer for the inside. Flat tape on the back of it. And we can just pop that down like so. There we go. Now this is where our corners come in. I've die cut them in the gold shiny foil and I've trimmed away, there was an edge. I've trimmed that away because I just want this section. I've got flat tape towards the middle and I've got 3D foam towards the ornate side. And I'm going to add the ornate side towards the corner. And I'm going to do that with 4 of them. There we go. I'll just turn my card around so I can see. So they are making 4 corners, but they're just slightly different because I've snipped that little bit away from them. There we go. I'll just check the right way up. So we're not going to see this section here, don't panic. We are going to see these edges. And the thing that's going to cover the section up is a circle. Again, like we made for the inside, I've got a circle of the red satin foil cardstock on 3D foam, and I'm just going to position it through the centre of the card like that and press it down. So you can see the corners poking out. How cool do they look? In the gold, the contrast against that. Next, I'm going to just put this to one side for a minute because I've die cut the deer or the stag and the Christmas trees in ivory cardstock. I've got 3D foam on the back of it, and I want to attach it to the background that I've made. Now this is gold foil cardstock. This is where I said about the snowflake embossing folder. So it's gold foil cardstock that I've embossed, and I'm going to just add the die cut of the deer, we'll call it a deer, on top. And it's a little bit smaller than the outer one of the gold. That's why I wanted to do it before I did it, put it on the card, just to make sure I kind of got it about right. So that's layering those two up. Now I can add this. I'm going to just place it in the centre because I want to try and make sure I get it right. So if I pop it there and just place it, I want to be able to have a little bit of wiggle room. I've cut out a circle with a circle in the middle of Christmas cardstock, and I want to be able to place that over our die cut from the centre, showing a little bit of red for the outside and making sure everything's nice and straight and pressing it down. There we go. I think that's roughly about it. That'll do for me. So I can press it all down, make sure it's nicely pressed down. I can't remember the name of the lady, but a lady wrote to me and said you don't press things down. So there we go. Oh, nicely pressed down. Now it's all on foam, so it'll spring back. So that's the centre. Next, I've die cut a smaller circle to match the outside edge of the die cut circle and the nesting circles. It's just about getting all your nesting circles and your circles in the right order, type, so to speak. This is in the red satin foil, and I've just got flat tape on it on the back, and that will go over the edge of our previous die cut layer. Now I can press that down, there we go. And then I have a sentiment from favourite sentiment Christmas stickers. I've just peeled the back away. I was a bit quick doing that. And I'm just going to place that towards the bottom like that and press it down. And then I've got a gold bow that I'm just going to add at the top of our circle like that. And that is our card finished. And the inside matches perfectly to the outside. That gold foil just catches the light so well. And the red, oh, the red is just so lush. I know, a terrible word, but it works for it. It is just so rich. That's what I should have said. And it just, wow. Stands up perfectly. It will go in a normal envelope. You've got 2, if not 3 rows of foam pads, but you would have that with your layers anyway. And I just think that works so well. Little bit different. You see how it's got the snowflakes behind? It's as if it's a faux shaker card, because it catches the light still as you tilt it. And the corners, who would have thought you could use them for Christmas, eh? They just work. Please check my blog for extra photos of the projects, for all the projects. We've had so many this year. Every one has been unique and beautiful, and I've loved hearing from you. So today is no different. Please check out the photos of both inside and outside and the full ingredient list on the blog as well. And let me know what you think. Please share it with your crafty friends. Please share any of my videos with your crafty friends and give me the thumbs up. And I would just like to say thank you so much for watching. I shall see you next time.